Just making thumbnail face.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Some thumbnail face.
Thumbnail face.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We are the Brothers Murph.
We
and
are.
It's time, as much as we love games, Nick,
Get that broom out.
I love getting rid of me more.
You do?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
But
we're doing another cull. We did
a little spring cleaning.
We did a cull around this time last year. We
Yeah.
actually got rid of like 60 games last year because we had been way out of space.
To that point, we had never really done a culling.
No.
Actually go through your collection of games and
Get rid of the chuffa.
ditch a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff. Get rid of the chuffa, that
Yeah.
extra. So this
Stuff
year,
in a place. So we want to do it again this year because
Yeah.
we have been out of room again for a while. We've accrued games over the years.
you get rid of stuff and you just refill it right back up.
Yeah,
No
it's
problem.
already stressed me out. Yeah.
Usually we do this around the summer,
Yeah.
or how we've done it recently, because over the summer, if you haven't noticed, a lot of games release. Even in years like this, there's still a lot of releases
Yeah.
around Gen Con S in that time, that late summer. And
It's
we
just
like
a convenient time. You got a whole
Yeah.
slew of games coming in. You might as well get rid of a whole bunch of other ones.
it's a good time to take stock and think of like, what's on my shelf, what's taking up space, and should it?
Yes.
Am I making use of that space?
Am I playing the game? That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. And that's why, so we're going to go through all the games we're getting rid of.
Yeah.
And we're going to give a brief synopsis of the game, what we think of
What's
it,
the
and
game?
why we're getting rid of
Why
it.
is it going?
Though we will say, like 99% of the games we're just getting rid of them because we just don't play them enough.
Like, a good game is a played game.
Yes.
And if it's not getting played by us, then we can donate that game to a place where it will get played.
Yeah, and we will say also, last year we did a giant giveaway. We gave away all the ones. We're not doing that again this year for a number of different reasons, but we are going to be donating them hopefully to like a family shelter. That's what we're looking right now. We're trying to finalize a place, but it'll go to some kind of shelter, or we've given games to the Boys and Girls Club around the corner. So they will be donated. We're not like throwing them away, but we're not doing a big
Right
giveaway.
into the trash, not even recycling.
Both in there.
No, yeah, so these are the games that we're getting rid of, and a little bit about why.
Yeah.
What do we start with, Nick?
I don't know.
What's the first game that's, it's not long for our world.
Oh, Spirit of the Wild.
Spirit of the Wild.
It's a good little game.
It's a cool little two-player game from Mattel that I think it's a Target exclusive.
I believe it is,
I
yes.
bought it on a whim because it was like $12
Yeah.
or something crazy cheap, and it's this really cool sort of action selection game where you are trying to appease different spirit animals, spirits, that they all want different types of gems, these little plastic rock bits. And so sometimes they want to have all the same color. Sometimes they want to have only different colors. It's kind of like Draftosaurus or Herbaceous, the way that certain things want to have certain stuff.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You do it by selecting these actions, which allow you to take these gems out of a bowl, add more gems to the bowl.
you gotta
You
move
can use
stuff
some
around and
special
stuff, yeah.
spirit powers and stuff. It's super light, and it's a cool little two-player game.
Good little game, just doesn't get played.
Yeah, it's like basically this one comes down to it costs very little. We played it. I feel like I got my money's worth, and now I'm
Yeah, I played a couple times, like, this was great.
Yeah.
Cool. We can move on now, but if you
Spirit
said Target, it's a good little grab.
Boom! Our next
Boom.
game is Letter Jam. This is a cooperative word game that I think plays out a little like Hanabi, where you don't necessarily know the words or letters you have, and your teammates need to help you out with that. We're getting rid of it just because
It just won't get played. It hasn't gotten played, to be fair, and it won't get played. I'm not a big fan of word games at all. I don't really like them. I don't like Hanabi. It's a lot like Hanabi. And it plays 2 to 5, but I've always heard that it plays best at higher player counts.
So it means
and we
it's kind of tricky for us.
There's some games we're going to get rid of just because we're like we can't play them at the player count they should be played at. And so like this one, it's just not going to get played. We keep trying to get it played and it doesn't. So we're like, you know what? Just give it to someone who'll play it because
basically,
that's just what it comes down to.
Simple as that. Letter Jam is out.
Heard it's good though, but it's just not my kind of game really. Speaking of another word game that I don't mind. But Spell Smashers. Spell Smashers is a game.
Fuel your magic with letters.
Yeah, it's this interesting kind of game where you are essentially fighting these monsters, but you're doing it by creating words, and the words will give you different kinds of magic, like fire magic or something like that.
Stuff.
Yeah, and you're attacking stuff, and then when you beat these monsters, they will give you then more letters and stuff like that. And it's a really cool concept.
Like vampire will give you a V. Stuff like
that. Yeah, it's a very fun, cool concept around word building games that I think is a nice twist on top of a lot of word building games. But again, it's a word building game. Personally, I just don't like them. I'm not good at them. I don't enjoy playing them. Despite that, I'll probably say this is the one I've liked the most. But even then,
For
it's
a
just
word game. Yeah.
we played it a couple times, like a year ago. Haven't played it since. So
Yeah. I like word games a lot more than Nick, but I
Yes.
still also haven't rushed back to it.
Yeah.
So we figure maybe that means something.
Good game though, but yeah, just
Check it out.
not long for this collection.
Another game we enjoy, but we're kind of done with it, is The Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years.
Great name.
It's a cool little push your luck game where
Yeah.
you're pulling flower petals out of a bag and you are trying to not bust, essentially.
Yeah.
And you can bust by getting too much of one color, or you end up grabbing too many overall. So you're definitely trying to push to get these flower petals because there's sort of like a majority for certain colors and stuff. If you have it behind your screen, certain things in front of your screen will score points, but only once you have a certain amount. Before that, they're negative points. So it's a cool little game.
It is a good little game.
We've just kind of explored everything there is, and it's a small box, and we've done all the things that are in this box.
Yeah,
That's
good
it.
game, a fun little push luck game, and we've played it. We've played enough of it. you
Definitely
know?
a cool one though.
Yeah, good little game. This is a game that kind of falls under the line of don't have the right player count, and that is Lockup. Lockup, this is a game by Thunderworks game set in that role player cartographer's universe.
Yeah.
Played it a couple
Jail.
times.
Mythical jail.
Yeah, you're like breaking out of jail. Love the theme, love the art. It's honestly a fun game. It's just honestly, it doesn't play great at 2. It just doesn't.
Because you're trying to get like this area majority in these different parts of the prison, and there's some bluffing involved and stuff. And so with 2 players,
It just doesn't
it just
work
doesn't.
as great.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like-
get as I think as like contentious for spaces.
Yeah.
You might be bidding more, and for certain, you get to basically if you have control of a room, then you get to activate that room and stuff. So it's a cool game. And it's just we don't have the player count, and this one exists on Tabletopia. So I'm like, we can get the player count and play it digitally, and I will be fine with that.
Yeah, it's like we can just play it digitally to get the player count that we actually need. The real copy we'll probably never play because we just will always want to play with a higher player count.
Yeah.
And especially right now in the middle of a pandemic, we can't play with people. So it's just sitting here not doing anything. Despite the fact that we like the game and love the universe, love the theme, it's just, but we're like, we'll just play it digitally at this point.
And out of the role player universe, this feels the weakest to me, so I'm the least interested in keeping it.
Yeah.
But mostly because we have other ways of playing it. So that's Lockup. What else, Nick? Let's see. Boom! Artifacts Inc.
Yeah.
Red Raven production. This is a cool little game.
It is a good little game.
Where you are building out kind of a tableau of cards of these buildings in front of you. And you can put dice down to activate the buildings. You're trying to get money, and you can go diving and things. And it's just a cool little game.
Yeah.
But it's just another one that like it doesn't get played. Like we will, if there's something around this weight, we'll just defer to other games.
Yeah,
Like
that's
to
what
the
it comes
point
down
where
to.
like several times we've been like, we could play Artifacts Inc. and we kind of go,
let's play
yeah,
this
let's play
instead.
this. You know, and I'm like, all right, well, you do that enough times, you're like, well, then let's get to
good
someone who
game
isn't
though,
playing.
but yeah, it's just
That's
kind of, it always gets passed up. It's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Poor thing, not its fault. Boom. This was so close last year. So close.
And
we said-
you
I was the
really
one that
rallied
fought
for it
Yes.
because you and Karen like this game. I'm not a massive fan of this game, but Mike likes this game, and so does
I
Karen.
do like this
Have
game.
you guys played it since then?
We played it once.
Okay.
We played it once, and then I hit up Kay Money. I said, hey, I think we're getting ready. She goes, oh, and I'm like, have we played? And she's like, nah.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right. But it's a cool game. This one has an app, and then Karen and I play the app sometimes, so like we could just play it there. And it's just kind of a lot of work to play.
Yeah.
It's a lot of setup, a lot of taking
And
care
we have
of.
the Broken Token insert. It's still,
I know.
it's just a
I'm
lot.
a metagame minute about it. I don't think broken token inserts are worth it.
Ooh, really?
With maybe one exception. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so this one's just a little too much work for what it's worth. I know you really don't like the market manipulation bit where you can set the prices for things. And yeah, but it's really cool. The main thing is we have Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, which gives a lot of this theming and the feeling in
Suburbia.
a better, easier to play game. And we have Suburbia.
Which kind of
This is
has a
just the
similar
odd-
mechanic of adjacency and stuff like that. So
the
it's
odd
like,
game
I'm
out.
just like, we have 2 other games that are like it.
the odd game out.
Yeah.
Kenny G keeping it, Saxy. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. We never played it.
No.
I'm not going to play it.
No.
I
It's
heard
mostly
it's-
there for a joke.
I heard it's good
Yeah.
for what it is. I'm super happy that games like this exist because people are going to buy this as a Secret Santa gift for people at Target. And people are going to be like, that's hilarious. And if they play it, they're going to find kind of a cool little game where you're helping Ken and G out and stuff. And that's great. That's plenty enough for us that it exists. I'm happy. I think it's hilarious. I don't need it. We don't
Yeah,
need
it was
to
great to have on our shelf for a little while. Doesn't need to be there anymore.
That's all.
That's it.
Bye, Ken and G.
Bye, Kenny G. Love you. Bermuda Pirates. We got this actually at Gen Con last year. We were
Yeah.
very interested in this game because this is a great
Cool
game.
game.
Ultimately, a great game for kids
Big
is
time.
really what it comes
It's a
down
kids
to.
game.
But this is a very cool game where you are pirates going around this ocean, and this ocean's a board, but a board can make up in different ways, and there are magnets underneath the board, little circle magnet, and you kind of randomize it and put it there. So there's random magnets around there, and it's a dexterity game where you're pushing a boat with jewels in the back of it around, and if it hits a magnet, it goes the nose of it goes boom, and it throws all the jewels out. So you're trying to like memorize where the magnets are because you can't see them. Great little game, super fun.
Yeah.
We wanted to play because we wanted to play it on stream, and it was super fun. But it is ultimately a kids game. But if you have kids, look up this game because it could be a great banger of a hit.
A great game that works on dexterity and memory.
Yes, which is great for kids.
Yeah, super cool.
Really fun. Great art. Really innovative, cool idea. Just it's ultimately too light for us, but a really fun game.
We're super heavy gamers, so
we're freaking mega heavy gamers. That.
Speaking of, next game is Little Town. Little Town, made of
it's a
wood and other things.
These are
this
dwarves?
game is
who knows
is cool. I don't know.
What a pause.
I'm still torn on this one slightly. So this is a game where you're building out these tiles to build this town, and everyone's kind of building under the same area. And then you can put down workers and activate everything in the 8 spaces around you.
Yeah.
And that's a super cool idea.
Yeah.
And you can kind of claim buildings and things like that, so people have to pay you money or something if they use your building. And it was cool, but this was one where I feel like we saw almost everything that was available right after the first play.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, that was cool. And I don't know, I had built up the expectation a little too high in my head on this one. And I was like, oh, that was fine. I wasn't entranced. I wasn't in love. Yeah. And so
it's kind of what it was too. I played it. I was like, that was fun.
Cool.
And I just never thought about it again.
Yeah.
That's really what it
so
came
we played
down
it a
to,
couple times, and I had that same reaction. Where it's kind of like, I wish there was something more. I don't exactly know what that is.
I don't know either. Yeah.
It's not bad, but I was just like, kind of.
It's a fun game, but it
didn't strike
I don't know. Yeah, it didn't sit in the heart.
Go figure.
Game that let's say the game that I didn't like. Boomtown. Mike liked it though.
I did. About it. Nick didn't. That's fine.
I don't like it at all.
This game, you are putting buildings. It's kind of like Quadropolis Suburbia, and building adjacency is super important. What's next to what? And there's this cool thing where when you put a building down on the board you're putting it, there are different flower symbols, and what you put down is going to dictate what you pick up as a tile for the future. So there's a market of tiles and stuff with those different same flower symbols. So it's about like, I need to put this next to this building or that building because that's really important, but I also need to make sure that the thing I'm getting for the next turn also plays into my plan, and so that's going to dictate where I place it. So you're kind of trying to keep those two things aloft at the same time.
Yeah.
That was something I really enjoyed. Nick, it just didn't strike you in any one way, really.
No, I didn't like it at all.
Nick didn't like it at all,
Yeah,
and I was very surprised when we played it. I kind of was like, Nick was like, horrible. I was like, really?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, so, no,
it
basically...
We don't always agree on games.
No, and that's fine. And if like Nick's like, I'm super all out on that, like who am I gonna play this with? So
yeah, I mean if it's something like Karen really loved it, like sure, keep it. But it's just like if I don't really like it that much, he likes it, and there's just not much of a point.
Here's a game I enjoyed. We both enjoyed.
Yes.
The only problem with this game, Imperial Settlers Roll and Write, is that there's a dope app for it. And
like a really dope app.
You can play it quickly, and it sort of simulates the solo game experience, which I think is cooler than the multiplayer experience in here because you have all these sheets in here that are different building sets, but you only can use them for the solo. There's like a whole campaign's worth. And I'm like, dude, bullcrap. Like, I want to be able to play with that as a multiplayer. And then an app comes out where basically it simulates the solo experience where you can get these different sets, but you have to kind of earn it, kind of Candy Crush style. And it's so great, it's addictive. Then I'm like, I don't need this anymore. Like, we will defer to so many roll and writes before this one.
That's what it comes down to.
If we're playing with a random crowd.
It used to be, it's like before we used to get every single roll and write because there weren't that many at the time.
Yeah.
And then we just loved every single one. And we still like almost every single roll and write we come across. Yeah. But it's like at this point, we have probably like 10 roll and writes.
Don't need more.
And this one ain't going to get played over those ones.
Yeah. Basically, this will be the lowest on the list. And I have an app to play it the way I want to play it anyway.
So, great.
That's a no-brainer. So it's gone.
Totally. Next one here is another great game for kids, and that is Slide Quest by Blue Orange Games. This is a really, really cool game.
It's the video game board game. And I think it's accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you basically have this like cool 3D board that tilts and moves around, and you have a different map, and essentially you're trying to get these, it's this little knight. He's on this little knight, and he's like got a little marble bottom to him. And you're essentially trying to get them to a specific place, but you have to go to like certain places first and do things in order. But every person gets a side of the board, so this person can move the board up and down. This one can, so you have to like coordinate and work together to get it in the right spot. Really, really fun, really cool, interesting idea. But we've played it a decent amount, and we're kind of like
played through the
cool.
levels.
It's basically a kids' activity, really fun one. That we just don't need to play
We played
anymore.
it with kids. It was awesome. And we kind of went through the levels that they have available. It kind of plays out like a video game where it gets harder and takes you slower through
it
like
does.
a
It gets
tutorial.
harder.
It's super cool. So shout out to Missy for getting us this. We got a lot of mileage out of it. And now we're going to pass it on to like hopefully another family that gets to rock
kids,
it.
'cause this could be real popular. So Slide Quest, good game.
Bam! Arkham Horror, Final Hour, the real-time Cthulhu game. The main problem with this is I've realized something.
What's that, Mike?
I don't really care about Cthulhu.
I don't care at all.
I like the mythos of H.P. Lovecraft.
I don't even like that much.
I know, I'm stronger in that. But then like, so we got this and then we're like, I actually don't want to play this at all. And we haven't. And we could, but we won't. So it's gone.
It's been a year.
I've heard it's, the main thing was, I was like, let's get it. And then people kind of said like, it's fine. I was like, oh, well now I'm like.
And it's like, it's Arkham Horror in an hour, but I'm like, but I also don't really want to play Arkham Horror. Like, we've played Arkham Horror a decent amount. I've played more Eldritch Horror than you.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Eldritch Horror. I like those games, but more and more I've liked them less and less over time. And it's like, that's that game in an hour. And I'm like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
And so we just keep not getting it to the table. So we're like, again, it's one of the things where it's like, some people may think that like you have to play it before you give it away, but it's like if it's not going to get played, we might as well give it to someone who might play it.
There might be someone who's like, oh my gosh, I love Arkham Horror, everything. Let me get
Exactly.
this.
So it's
Cool,
like,
have it.
go take it. You know, it's like if we're not going to play it, or we're going to have to like legit, damn near force ourselves to play it. It's like, what's the point? Is it like let's just move it to give it to someone who will actually play it. You know, or you know, and maybe it'll make a gamer someday. Another game that came from YenCon last year.
Yeah.
This one, Colors of Paris.
What a
It was
letdown.
just, that's the thing. Here's the thing. I like this game. I think you like this game.
It's fine.
It's
Absolutely fine.
This may have been, this game's undoing may have been more to, had really, really high hopes for it, and
Yeah.
it did not meet those or come that close to those.
Yeah.
And I think that made me dislike it more. And I don't hate it. I don't dislike it, but it's just like, so it's a game where you're a painter and you have this really, really cool action selection system with like this kind of like spinning actions. It's a very, very cool idea, but we've played it a number of times and each time I've always just been like, okay.
The problem is this cover is evocative. This cover is amazing. It's beautiful. I never felt like this when I played. I never felt like this at all. You're making art and it's just cubes that you're matching on the backside. And it's random for all accounts. And then you flip it and you're like, oh, you made a Degas.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like Degas when I made it. I didn't
Yeah.
feel artistic. And the whole like this shifting thing, like it shifts like once a turn. Maybe it's going to do twice or zero. It's boring. It's like,
See, I don't know about that.
Thing.
I really like, I would love to see that same action, and maybe it is out there. I'd love to see that same action selection in a different game.
I'd be down. The main problem with this was it left me feeling nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, it's over. And it goes by quick. You only paint two things. And I'm like, so I don't even get to feel like an accomplished artist. And you get to build up skills, but I never felt like I did anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It just felt very mechanical, which is a shame. It's so big art. This cover is great.
This cover is great. It's
what a
such a cool
waste.
theme. It let us down. That's really what
What are you
came
going
down
to do? Trellis is a game, another Target exclusive. It's a breaking games game where you're putting these cool hexagonal tiles down and you're blooming flowers. Your goal is to get rid of all your flower petals first. And when you bloom stuff, if it continues something that either you or someone else has claimed, they get to do bonus blooming and put things out. So it's very cool. But this is another Target game that I bought for like $15. Played it a bunch when my lady's mom was in town. We had a great time, and I played it $15 worth, and I am happy with the money I spent, and now I'm done.
Yeah.
That's
great
all.
game, though. Good little matching game. Great little kind of gateway game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just played enough.
I don't need anything more out of this. It gave me plenty. I'm happy with
that's
that.
it.
I'm at peace with that.
All right, last one on my side, Mikey.
Okay.
Kitchen Rouge.
Great game.
Great game.
It's just been usurped.
It's been usurped, unfortunately. It's been usurped by Rush MD, which is kind of a spiritual sequel to this one, where it's a real-time cooperative worker placement game. This one takes place in a kitchen. Think of Overcooked if you play video games. It's very, very similar to that in terms of the stress you feel. It's very, very stressful. That's Rush MD, which is a real-time cooperative worker placement game in a hospital. There's more going on, but it's also easier. This game is incredibly difficult.
Very hard.
And we mostly kept it around. Here's the thing. We have not played this game just to play it in probably 2 years. We have
Which
played
basically means we've hardly ever played it just to play it.
Yes, and that's the thing. We play this game on stream because it's a really fun game to watch on stream. So we've kept it around for that reason. But now we have a game that we'll actually play outside of streaming, and it's as fun or more fun to watch on stream. So we just don't have any need for Kitchen Rush anymore.
Go figure.
But yeah, so it's Kitchen Rush, great game. Loved it, got a hell of a lot of play out of it. Really like this game. It's just not long for this collection anymore. It got usurped. This one does have some pretty cool 3D printed plates.
Yeah.
I have a card
whoever
up there.
gets it or gets to play it's going to have a cool time.
Where we 3D printed some cool plates. Yeah, it's got expansion. This is a great find for someone who comes across it at wherever we end up donating.
It's a very cool game that we just have a version we like better now.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. A second, their younger brother was more attractive.
That's all. That happens. That's life.
Happens, man. You got anything else over there?
Yeah. All right. Oh, Haven. Hey. Beautiful art by Ryan Lockett. This is a cool two-player game where you're sort of, you're either like the city side or the nature side, and you're trying to get control of the forest, man. Yeah. It's kind of Fern Gully-ish, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's beautiful. It just, this is similar to kind of Imperial Settlers Roll and Write. We have a decent amount of two-player games, and this is on the bottom of the list. We have to get through Seven Wonders Duel. We have to get through Raptor and so many others before we get to this.
Yeah.
And we've done it several times. Like, I could play Haven, and we're like, I'll play this over here. And that's all. Nothing against it. It's beautiful.
Great game. Beautiful game. Ryan Lockett art, Red Raven. Good game. Just, again, it's not going to get chosen over anything else. And that's the issue, That's all. Everything on our shelf has to sometimes get chosen. Yeah. All right. Another game. Vikings Gone Wild.
How'd you like this one, Nick?
I don't like this
Doesn't like that one.
I find this game to be an incredibly basic deck builder. It is fine. Would I play it again? Totally. I would like to play it with some of the expansions, but the base game does not.
Yeah, basic.
The basic. And it's not so intriguing to me that I feel the need to go out and get the expansions. Like in the base game, I was like, ooh. And with the expansion, it was so much better. I might be down to keep it and get one or two of the expansions to see. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was, as I say, aggressively okay.
We'll see then. Maybe we'll hang on to it. We'll see if we can catch the expansions on a super sale.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we'll think about it.
I thought it was fine.
It's Vikings Gone Wild. It's got a fun enough theme, but this is that one when you play it once, you've seen everything in this box.
Everything. You've seen all the cards. You've seen everything.
I don't need every game to have a billion things, but I'm like, oh man. Because the next game, I'm like, I'm going to do the same strat.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's like we played it once a while ago, and I was just like, cool. I feel like I saw everything. We played it again recently, and I was like, cool. I have seen everything. And yeah, I was done.
So last year, Nick, we got Azul, got rid of Azul because we had Azul Stained Glass of Sintra,
and now
this is a better version of Azul. For me, I like this one better. So slightly more to think about. But since that time that we called Azul, you know how many times we played this? Big fat goose egg, 0 times, and I'm not missing it. So we're going to get rid of Azul. Yeah. As great as it is, this is a game where you and I together, if it's just us playing a game, we're never going to play this. It's not going to happen. And there's plenty...
Because we're heavy gamers.
Okay? Vadal or nothing, bro. No, it's just like we will default to other things. And other people in my community, our community that would want this game, have this game. So it's like, if I want to play it, I can play it with them, and I probably will. Yeah. I don't need my own copy.
Yeah, and it's a great gateway game, but we have so many gateway games, and honestly, this would be one of the last ones I pull out because I think the theme is great. I think the look is great, but I'd rather pull out like Barren Park. Where you're like,
that's my first thing I thought. It's like,
when you're making a zoo for bears. People are like, oh, that's cool. This one, it's like, it's abstract. It's a great game, but it's like, we're just never going to play it.
We're not super, I've come to discover, as much as we want to be, we're not really abstract gamer folk.
I've known that for a minute.
I mean, I've known that, but now it's like really, hit home.
No, I'm not an abstract gamer.
So that's it. That is the list. We do have a couple games, Nick, that are on the edge.
How many games is that, Mikey?
That's like 20,
1, 2,
I think.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
exactly.
8 on my side.
Oh gosh, I don't know. 1, 2, hold on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 20 games total. Whoa. We have 4 that are on the edge, though.
We're gonna do a little thing.
We're gonna do a little bit of a thing. We're gonna have a to get rid of it August.
No, it was Chop and Block August. Something like that.
Chop the Block August, something like that.
Chop and Block August.
The dog
Basically,
days
we
of
have
summer
4
are upon
games
us.
that we. So there's a couple games in there we're just going to get rid of, even though we haven't played them. But there's 4 games that we want to play.
I want to give this a go first
before we decide whether or not to cull it. But here's the thing: they've been sitting around for a long time. We still haven't played it. So, like, you know what?
Yeah, all of these, with the exception of maybe one, have sat on our shelf since Gen Con last year.
Yes, and so, like, you know what? We're going to force ourselves to play them. We're going to play, on August, every Tuesday in August, we're going to be playing another chopping block game on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thebrothers.
Get after it.
Link in the description below. But nonetheless, we're going to be playing a chopping block game, and at the end of that stream, we're going to decide right then and there whether or not we're keeping it.
We're going to keep it, ditch it, or maybe be like, I'm intrigued. We're gonna give it one more play or something. But yeah,
maybe we'll decide then they're keeping it. Whether
the fate will be decided.
So
what games we're gonna do.
Not necessarily in this specific order, but first one is Spy Club.
I really want to give this one a go.
You do. I have not been quite as intrigued with this one as you have, but you have been more, over the span of like a year and a half. Been like, oh, I really want to try Spy
like
Club.
A family campaign.
I know. I totally agree. I want to try it. So we're going to start off with Spy Club. At the end of that stream, well, actually, we're not necessarily going to start off with Spy Club, but at the end of that stream, we are going to...
Do we continue the campaign or abort? We'll find out.
I want to try, though. I do like the look of it. So Spy Club is the first one on the chopping block. Next one is Escape Tales Low Memory.
Yes, board and dice. This is kind of a sort of like an extended sort of escape room game that you'll play over a couple of goes. And we just...
I'm not a massive fan of escape rooms. Or I like escape rooms. I'm not a massive fan of escape room games.
Games, right. And I'm a little more intrigued by them. And this one is a little bit more extended, so it's like semi-campaignish, but it's
which does intrigue me a lot.
Yeah, limited. Like you'll play like 3 sessions of a few hours or so, and then like that'll be it. So we've been meaning to give this one a go. This is just a tough one. Like these types of games, Seventh Continent, Gloomhaven, it's hard for us to make headway on, so it's kind of sat on the shelf for a while. But we do want to give it a go. Before we decide what to do. So we're going to play kind of like a tutorial because we don't want to give too many spoilers away for people that are hoping to play this.
Yeah.
But we're going to do kind of an intro, not really super spoilery bit of this game to decide whether or not we want to go further.
Yeah.
Boom. What else, Nick?
So, Low Memory. Then we have Abomination.
Man, this was like last we got this Gen Con thing. We'll play it around Halloween and spooky and gross. And
we didn't, and the main reason is because it's big, it's long, it's a lot to learn.
Started getting some
and I've just heard nothing but about it. And I even watched like a playthrough of it, or a lot of a playthrough of it, and it just, the people were very just like, oh, like this is, and it's just, it really, I was like, oh, now I don't feel the need to play it that quickly. Oh, we'll get to it. We haven't gotten to it. But I do want to try because I love the theme.
Yeah, like it's kind of macabre and stuff. And you can go down and get like fresh body parts. And I'm like, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
That like the theming, and so
we're going to make ourselves play it.
Yeah, and I really hope it's great.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So we'll play it live on stream for y'all.
So.
And the last game we got is one we got in a raffle.
Yeah.
And
always heard good things about
Australia, which is like a train building stuff, but Cthulhu and things. I have no idea.
But I've always heard it's good.
It's Martin Wallace, so you know the design is going to be solid.
And we got it kind of randomly in a raffle, and we kept being like, oh, I heard that game's really good. We got to try it.
Yeah.
We got to try it. Now we're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
We're going to try it. We're forcing ourselves to try it.
I am truly intrigued by this one.
I am too. This one, I think,
Very
of these
by this one.
4, I think this one probably is the best bet of staying around. From what I've heard about the game, this one I think has the best bet. But we'll see. Yeah. So that is going to be Chop and Block
This
August.
might be our Cthulhu game, Nick.
Maybe.
We'll see. This on the chopping block, though. The other 20 games are gone. What do you think of the games we decided to give up this year? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think our choices are sound or bonker about?
Have you done a cull recently? Have you been thinking about doing a cull?
Could you try again?
No, Siri, I can't try again.
Lady.
I'm not talking. Stop
Always
listening to me. They already have your
Always
retinas.
listening.
Yeah. Nonetheless, have you culled recently? Are you going to cull some stuff? What's on your chopping block right now? Put some chopping blocks down in the description. Not description.
What's not
comments.
long for your shelf? Tell us. Let us know. Let us know of the games that we're getting rid of. If you think that we need to hang on to one, make a desperate plea for its life in the comments. We want to see all that. And while you're at it, I guess we'll do it, then we'll cut. So that's it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
That was our culling, the great culling of 2020.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching that video. If you want to watch the culling from last year, where we culled like 60-something
So many
games,
games.
check out that video up there. And that video down there is something.
Something YouTube loves for you.
Robots, reading your
Best
mind,
thing for
reading
you.
your
And subscribe
retinas.
if you're new to us, because we're the Brothers Murph, and we don't always just throw away our games. We often
Sometimes we
talk
play
about
them,
our
yeah.
games. So check it out. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up while you're at it.